this offseason? What does this summer look like? Just building off of how the playoffs ended. Have you been focusing on anything specifically, or just kind of a broad improvement of the game?
Yeah, kind of broad improvement. Got a pretty good look last year of shots I'd be getting offensively, the type of looks, how it'd be used, and so I was able to really kind of hone in and practice a lot of those movements, and really just across the board, just trying to become more efficient, better at what I already do.
Fox shared at the end of last season that for the first time in his career, being eliminated really stung. Like the end of the season really stung for him. What was that sting like of being eliminated from the playoffs for you, and how has that motivated you, I guess, for this season?
Yeah, it always stings. If you don't make the playoffs, you always kind of wish you did, and you feel like you could have done better. And for us last year, it was so much positivity all year. Had a really good year, finished third seed, and then first round exit. It feels like as much as everybody around us is telling us how great we did, it feels like it's a disappointment, at least inside the room. And so let's feel for this year motivation. Lost to a really good team, obviously, but I think the expectations for us internally last year were going that series and beyond.
At the end of the season, you had mentioned that you wanted to get to another level of physical condition, especially with all the physicality of the playoffs. Do you feel like you got there? Do you feel like you're better prepared, kind of going into this season for the rigors?
Yeah, from where I started going into last season, definitely in a better spot. A lot of that is the way that we're going to play and how we want to play, and super fast pace, getting up and down, increase the physicality defensively is something I'm sure Mike talked about a couple seconds ago. So just across the board, everybody's got to be in really good shape for this to work at the highest level that it's supposed to work at, and I realize that.
Well, look at the new guys like Sasha and Chris. What elements do they bring to this team that maybe you guys did not have last year?
Yeah, I mean, Sasha shoots the hell out of the ball. He's coming here all fall. He's broken all our shooting records that we had last year. He's somebody that's already been in pickup. He's a shot maker, so he's really exciting. And Chris is a professional. Chris is just super solid on both sides of the ball. I think really injuries derailed him out in Indiana, but he's a really good player, and so he'll help us a lot. Both of them will.
You talk about that kind of sting. I mean, is there something that bothers you in the way that this season ended, or if anything, and you look at it in its totality, or are you kind of at peace with it now?
No, I don't think it's something I've been thinking about all summer, and had a poster on my wall, and it's been like, the Warriors, like getting back at them. Like I said, I think we had a lot of confidence in the locker room last year, a lot of expectations. We had a great season, and thought that was a winnable series for us, especially getting up 2-0 at home, and they're a championship team, and so that's what they do. Obviously, I think if you ask a player on their team, they'd say they had more confidence, or their expectations were high. So just looking forward to going through it again this year. We get them at home, I think, for our home opener, and should be a good game, and hopefully get off to a good start to the season.
Can you elaborate a little bit more on Sasha breaking team shooting records during the fall? Like, what did that mean specifically?
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of shooting drills we do as a team, stuff we do on off days, and he comes in, he doesn't miss. So he's, a couple of us have some work to do to try to catch up.
What do you make of the West and kind of what's happened over the summer and just how competitive it's going to be?
A lot of teams have gotten better. On paper, at least it looks that way. A lot of teams have gotten better. Teams are getting healthier. It's tough. This is the West. This was the West even when I got traded here last year. The West was tough, and there were some teams that saw the injury bug, or a couple trades happen, or things didn't pan out, and that really doesn't change what we do inside this building. I think we're really comfortable with the guys that we have coming back, and having some, that continuity of last year and last season, and continue to just do what we do, and the rest will take care of itself. But there's a lot of teams that made a lot of changes for sure.
Monty and Mike have both talked about championship expectations. How do you guys as players kind of navigate that and deal with those expectations?
Yeah, I mean, it's not something that we've talked about too much, to be honest. Not sure what expectations the front office or the coaching staff really has. I know that inside the room we have all the confidence in the world. We think we have a really good group, a group that when we're playing at our best can beat anybody. So I think for us, and right now, we're trying to get off to a good start. Last year we started 0-4 to start the year and dug ourselves a hole early, and try not to let that happen again.
Might just bring him back the headband for a second here.
Headband will be back. Start the year at least, it'll be back.
Get it till 2K that. They don't have it.
They don't have it in?
No, man.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't play 2K that much,
Yeah,
so I haven't really
seen
seen it.
Gotta get going over there.
All right.
Last year you came out firing really efficiently. Is that typical for starts to the season for you, and how much do you feel like you have to maybe replicate that start you had last year?
No pressure to really replicate it. I think it's you come in, your legs are fresh to start every season, and it's a lot of individual work that's gone into it. You take a lot of shots, all off season. your individual games at a really good point, and then I think it's tougher as the season goes along to continue to get the individual work in. A lot of that becomes recovering, resting, obviously having team practices. So maybe you're in a better rhythm individually at the start of each season, but it's also our jobs as pros to keep that up and continue to do that over the course of the season. But hopefully get off to a good start. I feel good.
Over the offseason, as we're trying to kill time, we typically go back and like rank or talk about moments from last year and your shot against Utah at home. Just where does that moment just rank for you in your career, and what do you expect the atmosphere to look like this year based off of what happened last year?
Yeah, I mean, I think I get tagged in that video once a week at least on Twitter, so I get to relive it over and over again. It was a great moment. Obviously, the sound of the crowd when the ball went in, still get the chills watching it. Even in the moment, it was even better. So it's definitely up there towards the top. Have some other playoff moments that might be ahead of it. That was still a regular season game at home, and I think it was January, February of our season. But looking forward to moments like that. I think the fans are super excited for us this year, so I assume the crowds will be really good to start the year, or really over the whole course of the year, as long as we do what we need to do. So we're all obviously really excited.
The confidence you guys have stepping into this year, based on what you guys were able to accomplish last year, how much does that change on your end in a new season?
Not too much. We're confident, but we're not setting all these expectations, or we're not. I think talking about things that we don't need to be talking about right now in October. I think for right now it's just doing the work, continue to establish the right culture and chemistry, play the game the right way on both sides of the ball, and maybe we'll start to talk about what we're supposed to do or anything like that as we get deeper into the season. But we just got to get off to a good start. We're excited about the group we have here, and it's ready to get going.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you guys.